Hello and very warm welcome to Dr. Ahmed YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the two characters in the novel Ice Candyman by Sidhwa. One is that of these two characters are doctors indeed. First one is Dr. Barucha, and the second one is Dr. Selzer. We are introduced to Dr. Barucha in the beginning of this novel when he is found treating the lame leg of Lanny, and he is sometime plastering on that, and sometime he's applying medicines and massages, and sometime he's giving only satisfactions to the parents of Lanny. So in that way, the doctor is introduced to us, but that doctor is political as well because he heads the group of Parsis and holds the meetings of these people occasionally. And besides that, holding his profession as a doctor and working as political leader, he is known to be a very hardliner type of person as a representative of the Parsi people because he advocates all those things which can increase the image of goodness, betterment, and improvement of the Parsi community. And he does not let anybody speak against that. So, in that way, he poses his personality and imposes his personality upon every member of the Parsi community. He holds regular meetings and, in that way, is very much aware of the political situation of India at that time. He knows what is going to happen with the Muslim League, what is going to happen with the Congress, and what is going to happen with the Sikhs as well. He's very well aware of that. And he wants to preserve the interests of the Parsi community. And therefore, he guides them very well and lets not anybody brush his opinion aside. He all the time holds a very powerful position. So, in that way, doctor appears to be less of a person who is simply a doctor. He appears more to be a person who is a political leader, and that too very strong one. He appears like that. So in this way, Dr. Barucha, who is known to be Colonel Barucha as well, is a towering personality and is holding of his own opinion all the time and tries to enforce his opinion as well. And that is agreed by every member of the Parsi community as well. So he's a strong leader and is followed by all these people. And alongside that, he is also a competent doctor too. So in that way, a very good representation of the Parsi community and the political awareness of Parsi community and the shrewdness with which they try to make their place at that time when political turmoil was going on in India. That all has been taught through the character of Dr. Colonel Barucha. But alongside that, we have another doctor as well, in the same way as we have two personalities of Ice Candyman, as we have two Ayas as well, as in the last video we discussed that one is Aya Shanta, other is Aya Hamida. In the same way, there are two doctors. So one is able to compare and contrast the qualities of these two doctors. The second doctor is introduced to us in the very end of the novel, and that is really a good introduction. For example, I would like to share the kind of passages which I have selected in order to reflect on the character of Dr. Selzer. Let us go to those scenes and see how much that doctor is shown in the similar kind of light or a different kind of light with Sidhwa, and what was the purpose of doing so. So here is the chapter 31 in which Dr. Selzer is introduced to us, and the wording is really very good about him. For example, Sidhwa writes that Dr. Selzer, come here, mother yells cheerfully from the veranda, summoning him also with a snappy wave of her hand. She is pouring tea for Mr. Philebus in his daughter Maggie and his son Theo. Since they are Indian Christians, they are among the few remaining neighbors we still know. The Shankar's room at the back have been let to Dr. Selzer. The German doctor does not inhabit the rooms as much as possess them. He lives alone and he padlocks the rooms when he goes out. He has only one servant. The doctor's steps deflected from their course by my mother's voice falter, and turning round politely, he approaches us from the drive. I was just this minute talking about you, wobbles mother enthusiastically, flashing all her beautiful teeth in a magical smile. Dr. Selzer is taller than Colonel Barucha, taller even the murdered Inspector General of Police, Mr. Rogers, but he is much less intimidating. He lacks Colonel Barucha's charge of thunder and the departed policeman's "I'm in charge here" air of haughtiness. He is polite and assured in a subdued, understated way. And though he doesn't talk much, I can tell from the expression on his face that he is a gentleman. He keeps so much to himself, I think, because he is shy. Dr. Selzer practices calling in two rooms. He has rented on Birdwood Road behind Waris Road. One room is occupied by a self trained and indigenous chemist who deciphers and dispenses the prescriptions. So, dear audience, you can very easily see that Dr. Selzer is introduced also in the same beautiful light as Dr. Baarucha was introduced, because the mother of Lenny is all the time respectful, obedient, and very good and nice towards these people. And she's therefore very nice to this doctor as well. As soon as this doctor is going out and she has an eye, she is able to look at him. She catches him and asks him to come for tea because she was entertaining her other guests also on the similar cup of tea. So that's why she invites this doctor also to come back. That goes to reflect the respect and honor that the Lenny's mother would give to doctors, and the kind of obedience that the doctor also shows. He also comes back immediately to join them, and therefore we are in that way introduced in a very pleasant way how and who is Dr. Selzer. But the passages which are related directly to Dr. Selzer, they go to describe something different. For example, let me show you. This passage shows that Dr. Selzer is taller than Colonel Baarucha. So physically speaking, Baarucha is not of that height as Dr. Selzer is. So that is why one is very much able to differentiate between the two by thinking that the length of the size of body is more with Dr. Selzer. And he is very taller than the policeman who's referred here as Mr. Rogers, who has been murdered. Because he's so this man is longer than that, taller than that as well. And Colonel Baarucha was, of course, a thundering type of person, as I said already. But Dr. Selzer is quite opposite to that. He's very polite, doesn't have any air of haughtiness. He's very much polite and is all the time having nice ways. He talks to the people in a good way. He's a gentleman man as well. So Dr. Selzer is a direct opposite to Dr. Colonel Baarucha, because not only physically strong, but all the time he's smiling. He's not overpowering. He's not haughty. He's not going to, subdue the people. He listens to the people and treats them very well. So in that way, this is Dr. Selzer, and two extremes of these two characters have been shown to us. Just one thing connects them together, that both are the doctors. Dr. Selzer is inhabiting in those quarters where the Shankars used to inhabit for some time, and two rooms have been occupied by him, as Lenny tells us. A child of 7 years tells us about Dr. Selzer. So this view can also be associated to the kind of thinking which Lenny has for this doctor. And he is all the time taking care of the patients and is, making a lot of effort to prove that he can treat the patients. And he's got one assistant also that has also been talked about alongside this doctor's description. So this is the introduction of Dr. Selzer that we have come, and we have another news about Dr. Selzer, that he is German. He has come from Germany, and his wife is also coming from Germany. Father and mother, both Lenny's father and mother, like this doctor very much, as well as they liked Colonel Baarucha also. So in that way, this is the introduction to Dr. Selzer. Dr. Selzer has proved himself to be an important character here in these pages. He is having the importance as a doctor, but he's not haughty. He is not bad looking. He's a nice person, polite person. These are the qualities which are highlighted by Sidhwa in her description. So longer pages and longer sentences have been allocated in order to have a description of this doctor. So in this way, we are able to understand what is the difference between these two doctors. And these two characters are shown by her to be the type of doctors which are liked by this family, and that is the politeness, powerfulness, beautifulness. And we have seen that in this chapter, this doctor has been given preference to the other doctor, that is Colonel Baarucha. This preference goes to indicate what are the preferences of the writer, Bapsi Sidhwa. As a woman, she likes the people who are polite, nice, behave nicely. So that is why she gives them more importance. And as a result, same case is done by Lenny also. So that is the comparison, or the kind of established comparison in the novel that I have tried to repeat. and the role which they play in the novel, that I have also indicated here. And I hope that the students will be able to understand, because such things are left over by the people most of the time. Everyone knows Colonel Barucha, but very few may be knowing this Dr. Selzer. So that's why I have tried to provide some understanding and the comparison between two doctors. The purpose of the writer is to let us know that novel is not just the partition novel, it is the novel about the British Raj and what the things were going on, what was the role of the Parsis at that time, and how much the Parsis were enjoying the company of such nice people as that of Dr. Selzer is there. And that all have been included by Bapsi Sidhwa in her description of this novel. So that is the end of this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. And definitely, if you people have enjoyed the video, you have understood something out of that, I would expect that everyone who watches it may be clicking on the like link and on the subscribe link as well. Sometime I may be referring to the comments of the people also if these are posted. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video.